Let's do a recap of events that took place in the Middle East. The ongoing Israel-Hamas war saw significant turns in the month of November. Well, here is what went down. IDF eliminated Hezbollah media chief in a Beirut strike. The operation on Sunday, November 17th, by the Israeli Defense Forces IDF targeted and killed Mohammed Afif, Hezbollah's head of media relations, during a strike in central Beirut. The attack conducted at the Lebanese Ba'ath Party headquarters also eliminated Afif's deputy and 3 additional media unit members. The IDF characterized Afif as a senior operative directly involved in terrorist activities against Israel, accusing him of broadcasting messages that glorified and incited violence. Hezbollah responded by memorializing Afif as a great media leader and a martyr, highlighting his defiant stance against Israeli threat. This targeted elimination represents a significant strategic move by the IDF to disrupt Hezbollah's media and operational infrastructure, escalating tensions in the ongoing regional conflict. Just a day after the IDF operation in Beirut, Hezbollah responded. Hezbollah launched a massive missile and drone assault on Tel Aviv, demonstrating its fire-for-fire strategy in response to Israeli aggression. The operation, named the Kaiba series and conducted under the slogan, "We are at your service, O Nasrallah," resulted in significant damage and disruption. Hezbollah specifically targeted the Tel Aviv base, part of Israel's military intelligence division, claiming accurate strikes. The group stated the attack was in support of Palestinians in Gaza and to protect Lebanon from Israeli aggression. This operation is part of Hezbollah's ongoing response to the conflict, which has seen hundreds of attacks since October, coinciding with Israel's military actions in Gaza. Here's a highlight of the attack. At least 8 rockets and multiple drones targeted the city, causing potential building collapse. 5 people were wounded, with 1 in severe condition. Ben Gurion Airport was closed, and power outages reported in Tel Aviv area. In a desperate or strategical move, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu proposed a controversial $5 million reward for each hostage returned from Gaza, accompanied by guaranteed safe passage. The bold strategy targeted the release of 101 remaining captives amid stalled negotiations, with blame circulating between Hamas, Israel, and the international mediators. Netanyahu's announcement, made during a strategic military visit, carries a stern warning to Hamas about dismantling their Gaza governance. With no hostages released and Qatar suspending mediation efforts, this high-stakes approach transforms hostage negotiation into a transactional landscape. The unprecedented offer raised critical questions about its potential to break diplomatic deadlocks or further escalate tensions in the ongoing conflict. On Wednesday, November 21st, Israel was back to the war room with an airstrike on Palmyra, killing 36. The raid on the historic Syrian city of Palmyra resulted in 36 fatalities and over 50 injuries, according to Syrian state news agency SANA. The attack targeted residential buildings and an industrial zone, causing significant damage to the area. The attack underscored the continued tensions in the region, with Israel maintaining its strategic focus on disrupting potential threats from Syria and Iran-linked groups. The high civilian toll raises significant humanitarian concerns and potential diplomatic repercussions. A ray of hope in the Middle East. A potential 60-day ceasefire was proposed between Israel and Hezbollah after 14 months of intense conflict. Western diplomats and Lebanese officials reported an agreement involving Hezbollah closing the Litani line and only Lebanese army and UNIFIL forces remaining in southern Lebanon. Israel was set to withdraw after 60 days, with monitoring planned from Britain, Germany, France, and other countries. The proposed truce followed months of rocket exchanges and airstrikes, which had caused significant casualties on both sides. While offering a temporary reprieve for displaced civilians in northern Israel and southern Lebanon, experts remain skeptical, viewing the ceasefire as merely a pause in ongoing tensions rather than a permanent solution. The underlying geopolitical complexity suggested this would be just another chapter in the long-standing conflict. The 60-day ceasefire proved fruitful until the Israel military conducted airstrikes on Hezbollah weapons smuggling sites along the Syria-Lebanon border, claiming the sites were used to smuggle weapons after a ceasefire began. Israel described these actions as violation of truce, which has been fragile and marked by occasional breaches. Despite this, there was no immediate comment from Syrian or Hezbollah authorities. The Israeli airstrikes also targeted Hezbollah operatives in southern Lebanon, including a raid on a church believed to be used for military activities. The IDF reported killing several terrorists involved in anti-aircraft and artillery operations. Meanwhile, in Gaza, an Israeli airstrike on a car killed 5 individuals, including staff from World Central Kitchen, which denied allegations of involvement with Hamas. The ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hezbollah only addresses hostilities between the two, excluding the Gaza conflict, which remains ongoing. The fragile ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah suffered a strain after both sides exchanged fire and accused each other of violations. The Israeli Defense Forces (IDF) launched airstrikes on Hezbollah targets in southern Lebanon, including rocket launches, after Hezbollah fired projectiles at Mount Dov. Lebanese authorities reported 10 casualties, without distinguishing between Hezbollah operatives and civilians. The IDF stated that Hezbollah's actions violated the ceasefire and reiterated its commitment to defending Israeli civilians. Israeli officials, including Benny Gantz, called for a strong response, seeing Hezbollah's mortar fire as a significant breach. Some critics, like military correspondent Doron Kadosh, questioned why Beirut was not targeted. The US and France requested a UN Security Council meeting to assess the situation, accusing Israel of violating ceasefire. Despite the tensions, US officials suggested diplomatic efforts were ongoing to prevent further escalation, with the truce now facing a critical test. It seems the war is a never-ending one, even with a ceasefire proposal. Only one man is believed to have the audacity and power to end such atrocities: President-elect Donald Trump. He issued a stern warning to Hamas, declaring that if hostages held in Gaza are not released by the time he assumes office on January 20, 2025, there will be all hell to pay in the Middle East. Trump criticized past negotiations as ineffective and promised severe repercussions for those responsible for the hostage captivity. This statement follows the tragic death of Israeli soldier Omer Maxim Neutra, who was killed in a Hamas-led attack on October 7, 2023. Neutra, a tank platoon commander in the Israel Defense Forces, was initially thought to be a hostage. Israel's Foreign Minister, Israel Katz, paid tribute to Neutra's bravery and sacrifice. The warning reflects Trump's hardline stance on the Israel-Hamas conflict and a potential shift in U.S. policy. While it remains uncertain whether this threat will lead to hostage release, Trump's position underscores his commitment to a tough approach in the region. Will Trump's brave interventions be able to end the ongoing war? January is just a few days away. Let us know your thoughts about this in the comment section, and remember to like, share and subscribe to the News God for more intriguing global stories.